tutorial series of the wireless communication. I am our instructor Varsha Tak. Let's start our today's lecture series. So at the end of this video, you will be able to learn about the log distance path loss model. Then we will learn about the log normal shadowing model. Then we will learn about the reflection and what is reflection Brewster angle and the model related to the reflection, that is two-ray ground reflection model. In last lecture, we have started with the model. In last lecture, we have learned about the free space loss model and then we have learned about what is Fresnel zone. Okay, so let's start this model today. So first of all, the log distance path loss model. So log distance path loss model is a generic model and it is extension to the free space model. Okay, so it is extension to the free space model that we have learned in the last lecture. It is used to predict the propagation loss for a wide range of environment. And whereas the free space model is just restricted to the unobstructed clear path between the transmitter and the receiver. That means the free space path loss model is just for without the obstacle medium. So the medium is not possible without obstacle. Any obstacle is there, whether it is a environmental obstacle or whether it is a mountain, whether it is a building. Okay, so any obstacle is there in between the transmission. So the free space loss model is not appropriate for that. So that's why it is the extension for the free space loss model. Here we are considering the obstacles. The average large scale path loss for an arbitrary transmission and receiver separation is expressed as the function of the distance. That is by given using the path loss exponent for that is n. So here the formula that is defined for the log distance path loss model, that is PL D0 to D in decibel is equal to PL of D0 plus 10 log 10 D by D0 plus X. And here DF is less than or equal to D0 and less than or equal to D. Now where PL D0, that means what? It is the path loss in the decimal at the distance D0. PLD greater than D0, that is equal to path loss in the decimal at the arbitrary distance D. N is a path loss exponent. X is what? X is a zero mean Gaussian distributed random variable that is in decimal with the standard deviation sigma. Okay, so what is sigma? Sigma is a variable that is used only when there is a shadowing effect. Okay, so if shadowing model is there, we will consider the same formula. So with the standard deviation sigma. So if there is no shadowing effect, then this variable is always 0. Okay, so taking log of the normal Gaussian variable result in the name, that is the log normal fading. Now here you can see in this table the different path loss exponent is given for the various environment. So that you can see in the figure, if the environment is a free space, then the path loss exponent in that is 2. If it is an urban area or the cellular radio, then the path loss exponent is 2.7 to 3.5. And if the shadowed urban cellular radio is there, then it is 3 to 5. Inside the building, if the line of sight communication is there, then the path loss exponent is 1.6 to 1.8. But if inside the building the obstructed is there, then 4 to 6 is there. Obstructed in factory, then the path loss exponent is 2 to 3. But this table that is just for the reference, we cannot consider that in actual environment always the path loss exponent is same like this. Okay, it may be different based on the environment, it may be different based on the obstacle material, etc. Now next is log normal shadowing model. Now the log normal shadowing model, again the extension of this path loss log distance model. So surrounding environment clutter is considered. So the path loss is calculated using the same formula that we are using in the previous model, that is PL D0 to DDP, that is equal to PL D0 plus n log n D by D0 plus X, where X is what? It is the mean Gaussian function. So it describes the random shadowing effect that occurs over the large number of measurement locations that have the transmitter and the receiver separation. So the Gaussian distribution where Fx X is what? It is the Fx, where probability density Fn and the sigma is the standard deviation. So if we are considering the standard deviation, then this formula is suitable for the log normal shadowing model, where Fx is given by Fx is equal to 1 upon sigma under root 2 pi into E minus 1 upon 2 x minus nu upon sigma square, whole square. Okay, so this is the formula for the Gaussian distribution. Now here you can see the Gaussian curve with expected value nu and the variance sigma. Okay, so the corresponding parameters are, that is A is equal to 1 upon sigma under root 2x, B is equal to nu and C is equal to sigma. So this chart show you for the different value, that if mu is equal to 0 and the sigma is equal to 0.2, then the chart is defined as the signal is defined as a blue curve. Then if the nu is equal to 0, sigma is equal to 1.0, so then you can see it is in the red curve, that signal line is there. So like this way, if the value of nu is different, value of sigma is different, you will get the different Gaussian distribution chart. We can say it is a Gaussian curve. Now first of all, let's learn about the reflection, then we will see what is the which are the model related to the reflection. Okay, so reflection, all of you have already studied the reflection, because we have seen we have learned about the line of sight significant impairment, in which we have learned about the reflection. What is reflection? Okay, so if radio wave is an incident on the perfect dielectric material and the wavelength is smaller than reflection occurs. Okay, so part of the energy is reflected back, not entire signal will reflected back. Okay, so part of the energy is reflected back, as well as the part of the energy is transmitted. Okay, so there may be change in the direction and interaction between wave and boundary. Okay, if the signals is reflected, it may be that it will change its direction. It will change its direction like this way. It will change its direction like this way. Perpendicular is there, horizontal is there, vertical is there, anything can be happen. Okay, so it again also depends on the Fresnel zone. Then the polarization matters in what is the polarization? It is the one type of the time frame behavior of the electric field. So when we are considering the reflection, polarization always matter. So the polarization of antenna refers to the orientation of the electric field, or we can say it is a E-plane of the radio wave with respect to Earth's surface, and it's determined by the physical structure of the antenna and by its orientation. Okay, it always depends on the physical structure of the antenna, how the antenna is structured, and what is its direction, what is its orientation, whether it is a omnidirectional antenna, directional antenna, bidirectional antenna. So depends on that. Reflection generally affects the polarization. So for line of sight communication or ground wave propagation, horizontally or vertical polarization transmission generally remains in about the same polarization state at the receiving location. So let's see the figure, that is here you can see this is the vertical polarization, and here you can see it is the horizontal polarization. When you are considering the vertical polarization, you can see the perpendicular is there. Okay, so perpendicular waves are there, so that is if the waves are perpendicularly polarized, then we can say it is a vertically polarized. If the waves are not perpendicularly polarized, then we can say sometimes it is a parallelly polarized, so we can say it is a horizontal polarized waves is there. Now what is the reflection coefficient? Okay, so the reflection coefficient is the function of the material properties, and it generally depends on the wave of the polarization, angle of the incidence, and the frequency of the propagation wave. So always the reflection coefficient based on the three parts, which are the wave polarization, whether it is a horizontal polarization or whether it is a vertical polarization. Okay, and angle of the incidence, at which angle the polarized waves are appear, and the frequency of the propagation. So because of the superposition, only two orthogonal polarization need to be considered to solve the general reflection problem. So the reflection coefficient for the two cases, parallel and the perpendicular. that is E field polarization at the boundary of the two dielectric are given by that polarization parallel and polarization perpendicular. So E plane in the plane of the incidence. So here the polarization parallel, that is equal to ER upon EI, that is given by N2 sine theta I minus Ni sine theta I divided by N2 sine theta I plus Ni sine theta I. Same way the polarization perpendicular, that is given by ER upon EI, where N2 sine theta I minus Ni sine theta I divided by N2 sine theta I plus Ni theta I. Now where Ni is what? It is the intrinsic impedance of the ith medium. I is equal to 1 2 and it is given by under root mu upon sigma I. Mu I upon sigma I. So depend on the impedance of the media. So its permittivity, that is mu. Mu is what? The permittivity. And permittivity, that means epsilon. So it is given by permittivity divided by the epsilon, that is permittivity. Okay, so next is the what? Reflection Brewster angle. Okay, so the reflection, the Brewster angle is an angle at which no reflection occurs in the medium of the origin. Okay, so it occurs when the incident angle, that is a theta b, is such that the reflection coefficient is equal to 0. So let's see here the figure. So here you can see that is the incident, that is incident ray, that is the unpolarized ray, and reflected ray, that is the polarized ray. And here this is what? The reflected ray, that is slightly polarized. Okay, so here you can see this angle, that is known as the reflection Brewster angle. So the Brewster angle is given by the sine theta b is equal to E1 upon E1 plus E2. So for the cases when the first medium is a free space and the second medium has the relative permittivity E, then it can be expressed as the sine theta b is equal to under root of ER minus 1 upon ER square minus 1. Okay, when we can calculate this? When the first medium is a free space and second medium is a relative permittivity. So that time we can calculate this like this way. So not that the Brewster angle occurs only for the vertical. For example, the parallel polarization. Okay, for perpendicular polarization, Brewster angle is not there. Now, based on the reflection, let's say the two-ray ground reflection model. Okay, so in a mobile radio channel, a single direct path between the base station and the mobile is rarely and the one physical means of the propagation. So, and hence the free space propagation model is the most cases inaccurate when used alone. Okay, so the two-ray ground reflection model is useful in such cases. For the propagation model, that is based on the geometric optics and the considered both the direct path as well as the ground reflected propagation, that is the path between transmitter and receiver. Whenever you are transmitting the signal from transmitter to receiver, it will consider the multi-path propagation. Each and every signal will not travel through the line of sight communication. Maybe some obstacles are there. Okay, or maybe its path is different, ground reflected medium is there, then obstacle reflected signals is there. Okay, so let's conceive the two-ray ground reflected model. This model has been found to be reasonably accurate for the predicting the large scale signal strength. Okay, so whenever you want to find the large scale signal strength over the distance of the several kilometers, then this model is useful. Okay, so mobile radio system that use the tall towers, that is heights which exceeds the 50 meter, as well as for the line of sight microcell channels in the urban area environment. Now here you can see this is the figure in which we are seeing the two-ray ground reflection model is there. Here transmitter is there and that receiver is there. When transmitter is transmitting the signal, you can see there is a two path. Here in just this figure we are just showing the two path only. Okay, so transmitter is transmitting the signal. So its first signal will follow the line of sight communication and the second signal will follow the reflected communication. So here you can see ground reflected communication is that. Okay, so when the line of sight communication will there, that will be received by the receiver directly. But when the ground reflected wave is there, so here the first wave that is EI and second wave that is E2. Okay, so here you can see the 2 times theta is there, so reflected waves will be reached to the receiver and height of the transmitter that is H3 and the height of the receiver that is HR. So total that the signal that is received by the receiver that is E total is equal to E line of sight plus ER. So the model consists of the TX and RX antenna, each of the height HT and HR respectively, and the signal reaches the receiver by the 2 multipath component that here it is shown, and the line of sight component and the reflected component. So total field, how we can calculate? E total is equal to E line of sight plus ER. So E at the distance D and at the time T. How we can calculate E0 D0 upon D, that is it is E0 D0 upon D into cos WC T minus D upon C. Now how to calculate the path difference? So delta is equal to D double dash minus D dash, and whenever you will define it, so 2 HR upon D. So in this video we have learned that on log distance path loss model, then log normal shadowing model, then reflection, what is reflection and reflection Brewster angle, and 2-ray ground reflection model. Okay, log distance path loss model, if we are not considering the sigma, then it will the log distance path loss model, and if we are considering that sigma, then it will become the shadowing model. Okay, and then we have learned about the Brewster angle. What is Brewster angle? How we can define it? And in reflection, we have seen the 2 types of polarizations are the vertical polarization and the parallel polarization. Okay, then a 2-ray ground reflection model, that means the multipath propagation model is that. So this is all about this lecture. Remaining topic we will cover in the next lecture. Thank you for watching. We will meet in the next lecture with a new topic. Thank you.